Zorn's Dungeon is the first role-playing game to be played through the YouTube livestream chat. You're not just watching the game anymore, your character is involved in the action. Spawn a level 0 character, throw them into the Bloodcage, and watch them fight for their lives. Death is permanent, but survivors can reach level 1 for even greater adventure as the game develops. Here's how to play in under 5 minutes. Step 1. Spawn your character. To play, just type bang spawn, that's !spawn, in the YouTube livestream chat anytime Zorn's Dungeon is being played live. The game instantly rolls a level 0 character with 3d6 stats straight down the line. There's also a 1 in 6 chance of rolling a random demi-human. Your starting HP determines your destiny. Low health means wizards and thieves, while high health means you get to be a fighter, paladin, or barbarian. Every character's linked to your YouTube username so you know which is yours, and we know who's playing. Each character also gets a unique ID or dog tag. You can also see which characters belong to rare professions or have particularly exceptional stats. Remember, level 0 is brutal, so spawn multiple characters to have backups ready. But be aware there's a 30-second global cooldown on the bang spawn command. If you don't get in on your first try, just try again. The chatbot will confirm what characters are created in the live stream chat. Step 2. The draft. Newly spawned characters enter the tavern. The only way out for a level 0 character is to be drafted into a 12-person party for the Bloodcage. When it's time to assemble a party, the system drafts in this priority. 1. Super VIPs, which the Game Master reserves for special guests or situations. 2. VIPs. Channel members get free VIP status once a month, and anyone can send in super chats to make one of their characters a VIP. Super chats with a specific dog tag attached guarantee that character will receive VIP status. Otherwise, the system will choose one of your characters at random. Gifting memberships also gets you and the person gifted a VIP character. 3. Active chatters. If you've commented in the live stream chat within the last hour, you get priority right behind VIPs. So if you're watching, participate in the chat to make it more likely that your character will get in on the fight. 4. The general pool. If there are still draft spaces left, then they're open to anyone else in the tavern. Yes, even if you're offline, your tavern characters are at risk and may be drafted. Note that the draft prioritizes having as many different players as possible in the party, so you usually won't have 2 of your own characters in the same cage. Step 3. Into the Bloodcage. Once the party forms, the doors open, monsters spawn, and the auto battle begins. You get to sit back and watch the bloody drama unfold. As the cage takes damage and the blood bar fills, Zorn might intervene. At 33% health loss, he might order his goblin archers to loose a volley into the heroes, or later drop a gore strider behind your lines if you're having too easy a time. And for the crunch lovers, combat, movement, spells, and all other rules are handled by the Hacked Edge game system, our custom rule set based on old school essentials. Step 4. Triage and leveling. When the dust settles, surviving PCs are hauled up to the winch room. If a character was knocked unconscious, they only survive if they have teammates still standing at the end. Otherwise, the monsters put them to the sword. Survivors earn a blood drop next to their name to indicate they lived through the ordeal. Once in the winch room, goblin medics attempt to heal individual wounds, restoring 1 HP per wound per success. Then the fairy checks HP. Anyone with enough HP to reach level 1 gets promoted, receives their class, and gets a free, full restoration of HP and spells. This is the only free magical healing in the game. Level 1 characters also earn the right to have a name. Type bang name dog tag new name in the chat to name them, or rename them on zornsdungeon.com. Step 5. Rest and return. Finally, characters are sorted to their next location. First, all dead characters are sent to the graveyard. It's their final resting place. Those characters who are still wounded are sent to the infirmary. There, wounds and spells heal in real time according to the Hacked Edge rules, meaning severe injuries may take several actual 24-hour days to recover. To keep playing, bang spawn more characters to have them ready to go. Healthy characters are sent to the stable to safely rest. They have earned their reprieve. Want to send a character back into the action and perhaps earn a second blood drop? Just move the character you want from the stable back to the tavern. You can do this at zornsdungeon.com or by typing bang T for tavern plus the dog tag of the character you want to move in the chat. You can check rosters, locations, and all of our leaderboards, tracking boss kills, maximum damage, highest XP, anytime at zornsdungeon.com/tavern. Alright, that's all you need to know to get playing Zorn's Dungeon on the live stream. Get your bang spawn ready, and we'll see you in the cage. Hey, good evening, everyone. Good evening. I should probably check my microphone. Okay, it looks like it's working. I had to plug it back in. Okay, welcome, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Zorn's Dungeon. I'm Heath. I'll be your game master and commentator for tonight. It is great to have you. Man, I have thought about a lot of things since last night's stream, and I see people are putting in different comments about this, and I want to go through some of those. I've thought a lot about things and implemented new features. So consider this a test stream. If we end up having to turn them off or they're just not working, I mean, this is the first time they're being tried out live. They've been tested, but they have not been tested live. And there's a lot of things that I can't test truly until they're live. And that is movement commands. So we have introduced movement commands into the game. And the more I thought about it last night, like as I was thinking about what happened, I realized that I really believe that actually the movement commands are a solution to a lot of things, Because if you can't actually say, I want my character to go and stand right here, then you're going to feel like it's the lottery, right? You know, that was the word that was used last time. So I was like, well, you know, do we need because we don't need a billion different commands, you know, you can send any one of the following 45 commands to your character. That's too much. That's too much for this type of game. But a movement command, I think, is important because that gives you more direct control over what's happening, and then your character will take an appropriate action when they move to a particular location. Obviously, if they're by monsters, they're going to fight. If there's something else, they may do something else. So I think that just introducing the movement command stops you from having to introduce like a bang hunt command. Like, I want to hunt the Gorst Rider. Well, okay. First of all, we have to figure out a way to target the Gorst Rider. And right now, monsters don't have dog tags. They could, but you got to get the monster's dog tag. How do you get the monster's dog tag? So just looking at the board and going, move right there. That's where I want you to go. That keeps me from having to have bang hunt and all these other specialized commands. I think excuse me, got a frog in my throat. I think so. We're gonna try it. We got to make sure it works, and then also we're gonna make sure that it works from a technical perspective, and then see if it's actually doing what we want it to do in the cage. Sable Phoenix has a very interesting perspective on this. I was reading before the stream. Sable Phoenix says, I realized something last night. The Bloodcage was meant to be a funnel. And yes, the Bloodcage is meant to be a funnel. That's absolutely true. Not a standalone attraction. It may end up being self-defeating, a feature creep to try to add too many features to it before the level one and following content exists to funnel characters into. And I think that's very reasonable because yes, the funnel was never the Bloodcage was intended to be a funnel and wasn't intended to be the attraction of this game. But right now it is the only thing that's operational. So it was not intended to be that, but right now it's the only thing that's operational. Now, I've done work on other things, but I haven't been able to actually get them to the point where I'm comfortable putting them on the screen yet. Today, let's see, I've been working for, I spent about 10 hours today on the game, working on the game today, and now here we are running it. There are only so many different 10-hour spans of time that I have in a day. So yes, but I also, if we have this next thing that you're going to get to, if you're at level 1, only level 1 characters are allowed to go to. But people are feeling like I don't have enough control over my character. There are systematic issues there. Then I can bring out new content. That might be fun for a little while. But then if those same issues come back up, wait a minute, but I still can't control my character. It's doing something I don't want it to do, blah, blah, blah. That it's kind of kicking the can down the road. So I have not minded, in fact, because I think it's actually been a good idea. I think it's actually been a good idea to have spent this amount of time. I do want to move on, but to have spent this amount of time getting the commands, the Bloodcage and its commands working, and the Bloodcage working the way that it is supposed to be working, because those things should carry over. Like we have good auto, movement in the Bloodcage. We're going to use the same movement system when we move to the next thing for level 1s. The same commands. We'll be using those commands. If they're working in the Bloodcage, they should work in the new environments as well. So we're kind of battle hardening things here in the Bloodcage. Yes, we're going Bloodcage after Bloodcage after Bloodcage, but we're battle hardening things that I think are going to be very much useful as we go and continue. So that's what I'm thinking here. We will see if it works or not. Right, yes, because yes, and people are getting invested in their characters, and that's true, and it is but that's good. That's good. It is meant to be a meat grind. So Sable was saying right now a lot of development is going on, and it's true because people are getting invested in their characters as they should. But treating the Bloodcage as a gladiatorial scenario, and it's not. It's meant to be a meat grinder that once people go in, they can count themselves lucky to get out of. Because that's other things going forward you will be able to run from. The Bloodcage was designed that even if you say, hey, run, you can't get out of there. Let's see. Yeah, so Sable says, I was pissed over Sir Ironside getting immersed last night, sure, but he should never been put through 10 Bloodcages in the first place. Part of his success was simply being sent into play test where the Bloodcage was technically wasn't technically fully functional yet. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point. And because of and I went ahead and I did introduce the character cap. We need to move on to level 1 content. So let's play test this. My goal, and it's still kind of my goal here, I'd like to be able to declare a version 1. Now, that means version 1 to let everybody know about it and broadcast it at the beginning of September. And then I can start working on some future content. Just going to say, okay, the Bloodcage is now functioning like it should be. It's operational. We're not going to change anything about it. I mean, unless there's some kind of major problem or something. But we're not, that's considered done. I can move my development beyond the Bloodcage, and then we can, really put out the word in September. Hey, everybody, come play the Bloodcage. Come play the Bloodcage. Get characters, and then we move on. So maybe that's kind of my goal right now. Let's see. Oh, yes, and welcome, and Vulgar Unicorn. Yes, Dave is saying hi to Vulgar Unicorn. Welcome. Let's see. Now, I got you about the memorialization right there. There's the Vulgar. Do I need more than the guy that made me, or is that enough? It is enough for right now, but go ahead and bang spawn and get a second character. Go ahead and hit bang spawn. Let's see. Okay, looking through the chat. Lots of stuff being said in the chat here. Okay, if I've missed something, come in. I'm scrolling back down here, and coming down. Hey, Paper Sneakers, welcome. Yeah, I didn't. I'm going to bench characters, and it's just not. I've not gotten that on the list yet. All right. Okay, I'm just scrolling down. If I miss something, then let me know. I scrolled all the way down. Let's go over here and actually go into. I've got some other stuff for you as well. Let's share the screen. So we are should have some music as well. Got it over here. All right. Let me refresh the tavern. Okay, so we do it. We got 14 people watching. We've got 9 people who have liked the stream. Hit like. That way we can get the blessing of the fairy at 25 likes. So Swanzo is going in with Swanzo. Got a VIP right there. New to the tavern, Vulgar Unicorn. You are new to the tavern, which means you're going in. The Vulgar uniform has the Beleaguered Ratcatcher, Rain-Soaked Woodsman, a Threadbare Smuggler, Amended Cartographer's Assistant. You are in. Oh, I need to actually look at the change log. And then there are 10 people here. We do need to look at the change log because this is going to explain what has gone on. I did a lot of other things behind the scenes, but this is the important information for the change log. I nearly forgot that. So here's what should be working tonight. Okay. So movement commands. I posted this to YouTube, and of course YouTube does not show that. If I ever kill someone and need to hide a body, I'm going to put that body in the YouTube post section because nobody ever sees that. Nobody will ever find it there. But nonetheless, posted it over there. I posted it on the zornsdungeon.com, but also here. Okay, so the new command should be, we're going to see if it works. You can try to test it out, is bang M coordinates. Okay, so they're going to be coordinates in the Bloodcage right now. If you type bang M, you will enter grid coordinates and your character will move toward that square. Okay, the coordinates will persist until they arrive. The order will persist until they arrive. So if you don't make it to that square on your turn, that order should persist in order to get there. Okay, and you will still take actions as normal on your turn. It's kind of like being bang fight, except for you are specifying movement, okay? So, for instance, if you type right here, for example, bang MD4, you are going, you will try to get to D4. Now, there are a lot of reasons you may not actually be able to get to D4 because, for instance, after you order that order, of course, somebody else may go and stand there. Or you may be intercepted by another monster's zone of control or something like that. So this is not a guarantee that you're going to go stand there, but you're going to try to get there, okay? So bang M coordinates. The issue here, I was not implementing this because this, for different reasons you don't know about, because you don't know what I have planned. This coordinate system is not going to work for future stuff. But I realized last night that doesn't matter. All we're playing right now is the Bloodcage. So this isn't going to work permanently, or it's not going to work in all situations. We may end up having to have a different kind of move order for different, but I don't know. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So right now, we're playing Bloodcages. So this is the solution in the Bloodcage. Okay. Bang AOA also now accepts coordinates. If you hit bang M, coordinates are required because that's the purpose of coordinates. If you don't have coordinates, it's going to reject that. AOA now accepts coordinates. It's an optional argument. It's an optional argument into bang AOA. You do not have to. You can go AOA and you do not have to add coordinates. But if you add coordinates after bang AOA, your character will move toward that square first. Again, no guarantee that you're going to get there. You could be intercepted by other monsters. Somebody else could have already stood there, but you're going to move toward there, and then you will attack the most dangerous enemy in reach. The movement command overrides the search for a threatening monster with the AOA. And by that, I mean, let's say, ordinarily, if you got like a Gore Strider 2 squares away from you and you go AOA, you're going to turn to the Gore Strider 2 squares away and go and attack that. But here, let's say you got a Gore Strider 2 squares away from you, but you've got a white ape that's 4 squares away from you. So natural AOA turns you toward the Gore Strider. But let's say you want to go and fight the white ape for some reason. If you want to do that, then you type bang AOA with the coordinates adjacent to that white ape where you want to go and stand. So the movement command is going to override. Don't look at the go to this location first. Bang AOA with coordinates is telling you move to this location or as close as you can possibly get to it, and then attack the most threatening thing that you can find. Once you have reached there. Okay. Bang run. Bang run also accepts coordinates. Optional. Bang run accepts coordinates as well. So your character will attempt to retreat toward that square instead of away from the nearest enemy. You're still going to try to dodge. When you're on bang run, you're going to try to dodge the zones of control and stuff. To try to get away. Bang run. There's something else that went on with bang run. It's probably down there. So yes. Okay. So coordinates run A to L across, 1 to 6 down. Okay. And you give a letter first and then your number. Also, there have been some other changes. Every character can now dodge. Okay? Every character can now dodge. Dodge was previously available only when you had a character under bang AOD or bang hold. Okay? Now, these two orders increase the chance of a successful dodge, but everybody is capable of at least attempting a dodge. I'm not going to, as normal, I'm not going to get into the exact rules behind it.
I'll do that when we finalize some more things, and I can finally also get to putting up the Hacked Edge rule site and actually publishing the rules. But characters can dodge now. Everybody can. And that was a problem. That had been bothering me for a while because as people pointed out that, hey, if I've got a character with 1 hit point and a monster comes up to attack me, you're basically guaranteed to die. You could block with a shield, but if you don't have a shield, you know that you're basically dropping. That's not true anymore because every character has a base active defense of a dodge. It's not a great chance. It's not a great chance. Do not depend on it. But everybody has an active defense of a dodge now, and then bang AOD and bang hold will increase that. All-out defense. This was also a problem that was bothering me. All-out attack was too punitive. All-out attack was too punitive. All-out attack weakened your defenses, which was your armor, and then also your shields could not be used. Okay? All-out attack no longer weakens your armor. Okay, so you cannot use your shield. Helmets work as normal if you're on AOD, but you cannot use a shield if you are, on AOA. You cannot use a shield when you are on AOA. You can use a helmet, but your armor stays the same. And that's why it should have been. You're no longer having reduced armor because you're on AOA. That also means that later, when we also need to get in there, as far as buying equipment, if you like to be the AOA type and you have the option of buying a shield or more armor, if you like being on AOA, that means you should buy more armor because your shield's going to be useless when you're on AOA because you are focused on the attack, but armor will defend you as normal. Bang Run is also more likely to break an engagement lock. When you are engagement locked with a character, there's also something else we hear. So Bang Run, if you are engagement locked with a character, a monster, you're fighting a monster and you want to get out of there. You can go AOD if you want to, go all out defense. But let's say you want to run, you want to get the hell out of there. Okay, so you hit Bang Run. When you hit Bang Run, you are more likely to be able to break an engagement lock with that monster. You're more likely to be able to break it. But if you still fail to break it, you will automatically be put on AOD. Okay? I think that makes sense. Rolling to try to get out of an engagement lock is not an action. Okay? But so if you go, I got to get out of here, I'm down to 1 hit point, I'm just going run, you go run, but you still are unable to break the engagement lock with that monster. Instead of just standing there on a, like you did before, you will now defend as if you were on AOD. And then you will attempt to run again next round. Okay. Character, there was something else that came up with that. Oh, I do want to point out that it was brought up last time as well that, hey, it looks like monsters are avoiding people who are on AOD. That's not exactly true, but remember, there's no aggro in this game. Now, some people may want that and may want something else, but there's no aggro in this game. So if you're going AOD and you're going all out defense and you're trying to protect, a wizard or something, that's great if the wizard's behind you. But if the wizard is like over there beside you, don't be surprised if a monster goes, that guy is presenting a hardened defense to me and there's a squishier target over there and the monster goes to the squishier target. That is right now AOD still working as intended, and actually is a little bit of a bonus to AOD, or you could see that if you are presenting an extremely hardened target to the monsters, they might go for another softer target. If we want to introduce something like aggro, because some people did talk about that, like, no, I'm going to be standing there and I'm like yelling and I'm insulting the monsters. I'm talking about their mother. I'm throwing out yo mama jokes to these monsters. I'm trying to get them to over here. That would be something different than AOD. That is not an AOD. So there's nothing like that in the game right now. And then finally, a character engagement locked. I noticed that when somebody tried to get away, there was no beat up on the screen that told you tried to escape and failed. Now, in the banner at the top of the Bloodcage, that should be declared on screen. So if we see that, like, hey, I went bang run, I tried to get away, but I didn't move, it should report that I failed to escape engagement lock. All right. Woo! Okay, a lot of changes. I'm real. Thank you. I see, like, Made of Meat says all great changes. So that's why, as I said earlier, I haven't minded spending this amount of time getting these things right, because these things will all carry over to everything else that we do once we go beyond the Bloodcage. So this may not work perfectly tonight. This may not work perfectly tonight. Who knows? We could be in a disaster. We could be in a disaster here. Those things that I'm trying to implement and I'm trying to get done. So you are here play testing with me. All right. So there we go. Yes, I have been. Yes, this was a lot of work from last night. I spent about 3 hours after live stream last night, then woke up and did all this. All right. Okay. Oh, you. Okay. All right, man. Okay. So back to last report, 55 likes on the screen. We have 16 viewers, so that kind of lines up. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it. Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's go to the stable. So if you are new here, VIPs will go in first, then anybody who is new to the cage will go in, then anybody who is present and who has not yet fought, then people who are present and fought in ascending order. People who have fought 3 times will be behind people who fought 2 times. But if you are a channel member and you have a priority marker, one of those coins by there, then you will get to the front of the line in your particular tier. All right, let's draft. Swanzo, level 1 elf. You are in. The vulgar uniform. Whoa, the vulgar uniform. No, the vulgar unicorn. A threadbare smuggler. Paper sneaker Marcus. Maid of meat Sam Lad the nimble. SKD fish, an overzealous hedge mage. Proud Star, a forsaken alchemist's assistant. Kyle, a dust-covered town watchman. Well starred. Brianna, an excommunicated lector. Dave, an orphaned cultist. Sable Phoenix, a ruined dwarf miner. Mrs. Dave, a windblown flagellant. You are in. And then Courtney, Hobo Cop. Oh, Hobo Cop. Okay, I like that name. Courtney has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blood drop. This is a gnome or halfling? Gnome. That is in. Oh, yeah, gnome right there. All right, so we will fight in 1 minute and 25 seconds. We have 8 level 0 characters here. We have 8 level 0 and 4 level 1 characters in here. The average level is 0.3. Total HP 45, a little light, but then again, we have 8 level 1 characters, so that's kind of to be expected. Average HP of 4. The odds master is about to come in. Let's see. 1 minute. Ill-starred, what is... Okay, there we go. Okay, so the vulgar unicorn, threadbare smuggler, 11% chance of getting it out. Now, remember, the commands, you should, if by playing smart, you should be able to override this. Remember, this is just calculated according to... And maybe I shouldn't even have the odds master anymore. There in the very beginning when I was making this, there was some kind of way for you to bet on the cage. But there's not anymore. But I left the odds master in just for kind of fun while we're in the holding cell, but maybe you shouldn't even see it. But the odds master doesn't only computes this based on going bang fight. So if you play well, you should be able to do better. SKD Fish, 28% chance. Proud Star, 22% chance. Kyle, 21. Brianna, man, there was a time when I was like, where's all the red? Now we just have tons of red. Okay, but that's because we have a lot of level 0 characters. Can they get out? Okay, Brianna, excommunicated lector, 14. Dave, 24. Sable Phoenix, ruined dwarf miner, 21% chance. Dave, 23% chance. Let's fight. Let's go to it. Let's go ahead and fight. So here we go. Oh, man. Okay, I'm going to have to scroll here. So there you go. No, make him a blind beholder. So here are our combat commands. So AOA, all out attack, increases attack power. Shields and dodge are useless. Optional, add coordinates to attempt to move to that square first. Okay, so AOA, and then so that you don't have to add in the brackets. The brackets over here are just showing you that's an optional parameter. So bang AOA D4 tries to get you to D4 before you execute the AOA order. Bang M, coordinates are required. Okay, bang M, coordinates are required. Moves character to specified coordinates and will persist until arrival. characters receive an action, still receive an action as normal on their turn. You're not giving up an action by going bang move. Bang AOD, all out defense, sacrifices movement and attacks for additional defense. Bang hold the line. Characters will not move, but will attack monsters in range. If no attack is taken and the character is later attacked, it will be treated as if it's on an AOD defense. Bang run, coordinates are optional. You can add coordinates in to try to retreat that will improve your chance of breaking an enemy's engagement lock. If the break fails, however, and you're not able to move, you will fall back to being AOD, or treat it as if you were on AOD, but you will attempt to move again next turn, to run again next turn if you don't change your order. All coordinates attempt to retreat toward that square. Bang fight, that returns you to your default autoplay mode. Characters will accept the last order you give them and will execute the order at the start of their turn. Let's open it up. We could fail here. All right, so there we go. So you can see right away here, the tokens are on top of the grid coordinates, but you should be able to see what's going on right here. So like up here, this is square A1, B1, C1, D1. So we're going A, B, C, D, E, all the way across over here. Then we're dropping numbers down the cage this way. Everybody see what we're doing? So D1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So A1, B1. This down here is B6. I think you should be able to see my cursor. Okay. All right. So front line. Sable Phoenix, a ruined dwarf miner. Front line. Kyle, a dust-covered town watchman. Front line. Made of Meat, Sam Ladd the Nimble. Front line. The Vulgar Unicorn, front line. Threadbare Smuggler. Oh, we have a smuggler on the front line. Not quite enough fighter types there. Swanzo, second line. Mrs. Dave, second line. Brianna, Excommunicated Lector, second line. Courtney, Hobo Cop, second line. SKD Fish, Overzealous Hedge Mage, third line. Paper Sneaker, Marcus, third line. Dave, an Orphaned Cultist, third line. Forsaken Alchemist Assistant, Proud Star, third line. There we go. 16 monsters, 2 white apes. Okay? All right, let's play. Let's go. Dust-covered town watchman Kyle moves in toward Goblin. Comes in. Goblin punctured with a long spear for 2 points of damage. Drops to -1. So killed that goblin right there. White Ape now coming up to Kyle. Oh, White Ape. Is he going to be able to get there with his fists? Yes. White Ape is coming into Kyle. 3 points of damage, 2 turned aside, 1 taking his injury. Comes in again. Hey, Tabletop Scholar. 3 points of damage. Oh, dust-covered watchman Kyle drops. Tabletop Scholar, we had a lot of changes. You may want to review everything we've been talking about before this cage. There have been a lot of changes to the game. Movement is now active. We're trying it out. Goblin now moves toward the Vulgar Unicorn. 5 points. Oh, my God. 5 points of damage. The Vulgar Unicorn has dropped. I am sorry. That's the life of level 1 character. Level 0 character, rather. Ratkin Mongrel comes up to Dwarf Miner. Trying to get there. Might not be able to. Nothing going. Finally, Sam Ladd the Nimble, Made of Meat, accepts a hold order, but can attack because he's on hold. Goes into Goblin number 4. 1 point of damage right there into that Goblin. 10 PCs up to 15 monsters. Cave Imp goes to Hobo Cop. Cave Imp coming into Hobo Cop. 3 points of damage, moderate slashing wound. So Hobo Cop still up, though. Cave Imp coming towards Sable Phoenix's Dwarf Miner. Cave Imp comes in, 3 points of damage, 1 turned aside, 2 taken as injury, minor slashing wound. Vulgar says, I've had Traveler characters who died in character creation. That's kind of what this is. Overzealous Hedge Mage going AOA. Let's see. Is the Hedge Mage going to be able to shoot over? Yes, Hedge Mage goes Firebolt into White Ape. White Ape is hit for 4 points of damage, moderate fire wound. Okay, Brianna, we're going in M order. It said you were under M, but didn't tell me which you were going. Hopefully that's where you wanted to go. And stayed. So we'll see that. That was our first M order. Marcus. So we do need to show the coordinates. It did not show the coordinates. The goblin lets out a final snarl and falls. Hobo Cop goes poison spray into Cave Imp number 4, 1 point of damage only. We need a bit more than that. 1 point of damage, 10 PCs to 14 monsters. Cave Imp coming up to Samlad the Nimble. Let's see, twisting with the strike to bleed off the force, 3 stamina points spent and no wound. Cave Imp also looking at Samlad. Cave Imp coming into Samlad's flank. Come on, stand up. 2 points of damage, minor slashing wound. Zorn readies the archers. A volley may be incoming. The movement, yeah, it did, but it didn't show cards. Okay. Swanzo fires at the Cave Imp. Cave Imp takes 8 points of damage. Nice job, Swanzo. Takes out Cave Imp. The Cave Imp body goes limp, and it is finished. 10 PCs to 13 monsters. Okay, Gremlin moves toward Forsaken Alchemist. Windblown Flagellant goes AOA. Okay, Flagellant going AOA. That's an appropriate thing for a Flagellant to do. Looking at the, caught up by Ratkin Mongrel. Wanted to go into the White Ape. Caught by Ratkin Mongrel. 5 points of damage, major bludgeoning wound. That's a flail. Yes, a Windblown Flagellant on an all-out attack with a flail crushes the Ratkin Mongrel. Very appropriate. 10 PCs to 12 monsters. Okay, Proudstar going AOA, looking for AOA, is going to see the Cave Imp over here. Go ahead and cut it down. Take it out. Take it out. We're going, what is that, Acid Splash? 6 points, Acid Wound into the Cave Imp. Cave Imp drops dead, blood pools beneath. Zorn holds. The archers stand down. The archers stand down. Goblin Runt looking at the Flagellant here, who is on an AOA. Windbone Flagellant takes 2 points of damage, minor piercing wound. So that's good. The AOA order was not an automatic death sentence there. So that's good. Okay. Gremlin trying to get into Flagellant. He's coming from downtown. Okay, yeah, so he didn't make it in. Now, Dwarf Miner goes hold, and so is going to target the Cave Imp right there. Ruined Dwarf Miner goes 2 points of damage to the Cave Imp. Minor piercing wound. The Cave Imp staggers, twitches, and falls. Goblin now targeting the Windblown Flagellant, also coming up into the Flagellant. Struck, 4 points of damage, moderate piercing wound. Windblown Flagellant blacks out from the trauma, but is still alive. Zorn, Portcullis. Are we going to have to go through a Portcullis, monsters? We have 9 PCs to 10 monsters. We're in a pretty intense fight right here. White Ape is coming up to Hobo Cop. This is Courtney. White Ape chucks at Courtney. Hobo Cop, 1 point of damage, minor bludgeoning wound. Courtney, Hobo Cop has fallen. I am sorry. Goblin goes to Ruined Dwarf Miner. Vicious hit. Oh my God. The dwarf just took, oh my God, 8 points of damage. Ruined Dwarf Miner just took 8 points of damage on the spot. No, he saved. I was like, wait a minute. So he saved. Okay. Oh, he did save. Okay. So I was like, I didn't see a card about that. So Courtney is down, but not dead. Not dead. Orphan Cultist comes up to Cave Imp number 3. Please. Oh, only 1 point of damage. Only 1 point of damage. Slimeling targets Slamlad the Nimble. Not able to get there. No, Slimeling's trying to figure out. It's getting a bit confused in the background. Goblin Runt coming up to Slam Lad. Let's see. 1 point of damage to Slam Lad the Nimble, a minor piercing wound. Zorn stays his hand. There are no portcullis monsters coming in. 7 heroes still draw breath. Round number 2. Initiative deck is reshuffled. Let's draw some heroes. Marcus, Paper Sneakers, looking at this run. Take him out. Acid Splash coming in. 3 points of damage. Nice job. That is exactly what we needed. Goblin Runt hits the stone. He will not get to act this round. Nice job, Marcus. Gremlin targets Swanzo. Gremlin coming up to Swanzo. Rent 1 point of damage. Major slashing wound. White Ape. White Ape's turn. Man, people are looking at Slam Lad. Wants to throw into Slam Lad the Nimble. Slam Lad the Nimble is bludgeoned for 2 points of damage. Minor bludgeoning wound, but still up. Grits their teeth through impossible pain and stays up. Where are we? 6 PCs to 9 monsters? 6 PCs to 9 monsters. We have got to take some down. Oh, and the Goblin. The Goblin is up. Goblin's going to try to get down here to the Orphaned Cultist. 1 point of damage, minor piercing wound. Minor piercing wound. Gremlin now targets Forsaken Alchemist into Proudstar. Gremlin comes into Proudstar. 1 point of damage, a Forsaken Alchemist assistant, minor slashing wound. Proudstar has been killed by a Gremlin. All right, let's draw heroes. Let's draw heroes. Okay, Orphaned Cultist now looking at Goblin. Poison spray into the Goblin. 2 points of only 2 points of damage. Only 2 points of damage. Goblin Runt goes to Brianna. Goblin Runt comes up to Brianna. 4 points of damage. This has been brutal. A bang, hold, and AOD command should probably spend a bit longer on the hero who just engaged the command. Maybe a specific icon, too. Swanzo comes... 12. Well, nice job, Swanzo. I'll look at that, Sable Phoenix. Understanding. Gremlin goes down. Swanzo takes out Gremlin. Nice job taking out Gremlin. That was a major attack right there. 4 PCs to 8 monsters. It is now Goblin looking at Swanzo. Goblin coming into Swanzo. 4 points of damage. Swanzo is still up. White Ape now targets Orphaned Cultist. Comes in. Critical hit. Oh, God. 12 points of damage to the Cultist. A catastrophic bludgeoning wound. Slimeling. Can Slimeling get anywhere? We have into... Oh, God. 3 points of damage to Marcus. 3 points of damage to Marcus. F in the chat for Paper Sneakers. F in the chat for Paper Sneakers. We got to fight through 3 rounds to have a chance for Zorn to spare the worthy. Oh, we still have a Cave Imp to go. Cave Imp looking at Slam Lad the Nimble. 3 points of damage, a moderate slashing wound. Slam Lad the Nimble's legs give out, but not dead yet. Not dead yet. Overzealous Hedge Mage. SKD Fish going into the Gremlin that's right beside of him. Drives hard with a staff. 4 points of damage. Overzealous Hedge Mage takes out Gremlin number 1. Round number 3, initiative deck reshuffles. Oh, man. This is going to be brutal for the heroes here. We've got a Cave Imp who is coming in to SKD Fish. 2 points of damage to an Overzealous Hedge Mage. A minor slashing wound drops. Oh, let's see. White 8. Swanzo. Oh, God. White 8 comes in for 12 points of damage. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. That was too much. That was rough. That was seriously rough. Okay, I'm sorry. I was checking on something. I was changing something. Checking on something. I'm sorry. That was rough. Let's go to the winch room. Let's turn the winch. F to all. All right, let's move them out. Hey, I got something for you. Let's go over here. If you're present, we have 19 likes on the stream. We need to get to 25. Please do hit that in there. Welcomes, everybody. Say something in chat. Let's go over here to the fairies, to the gift of the fairy. Let's do the gift of the fairy right here. Let's go ahead and gift from the fairy. So the fairy says, "Hero of the cage, you bled for Zorn in his cruel game, and though you did not break, your gear did. Here, take this. I found it for you. It might have the blood of one less fortunate still on it, but it was all I could find. Use it well to become the hero I know you can be." Cedric Blackhand, a bag of old copper, 150 coppers. She gives you 150 copper coins. Dorley, she also presses a bag with 150 copper coins into your hand. Bert, bag of old coppers, 146 coppers. Slamwise Blamji goes and you receive a bag of 136 copper coins. Not Indeface, 108 copper coins. Final Fighter of Brianna Reynolds, a bag with 90 copper coins in it. Wary Heavy Infantry of Tabletop Scholar, 80 coins. Bane's Pawn of Kyle receives a bag of 75 copper coins. Sir Percival the Warm, made of meat, bag of 62 copper coins. Ramshackle Gnome Tinker Swanzo, bag of 53 coins. Toxic Gamer, small shield. Toxic Gamer, your dwarf receives a small shield. A Wheezing Dwarf Armor's Apprentice, Razzle Dazzle, a small shield. Landless Dwarf Armor's Apprentice, Thunderwolf, you gain a small shield. Bruised Dwarf Armor's Apprentice, a small shield. Warped Dwarf Armor's Apprentice of Keith Crow, a small shield. Nondescript Dwarf of Tabletop Scholar, a small shield. Slamwise Blamji, an old buckler. All right, so there we go. So that accomplishes a few things right there. Dave just went in, I believe, let's go here to the tavern. Dave went in for a super chat MVP. So that accomplished a few things. First of all, that got a little bit more cash in people's hands. There we go. Thurman Merman. There we go. Dave, $4.99. Thurman Merman and plus 2 HP has been MVP'd and then also has plus 2 HP. So we don't have things to spend the copper on yet. That's coming. I haven't been able to build that, but I did build in the if you survive the cage, then you're at least thrown a few coppers. You're going to be thrown a few coppers by the crowd. But then I was like, well, I also need to go back and take a look at the people who have already been through the cages. Maybe the crowd should have thrown them a few coins. And so the fairy came by and found those coins and gave them to those characters. So there's nothing to spend it on yet. That's coming, but that does get everybody a little bit of coins. When the crowd throws coins, we've been having some TPKs and things like that. But when the crowd throws coins, if you are incapacitated, you still get your winning XP, but you don't get coins. You got to be standing to get coins. and Sable Phoenix was saying dwarves need shields. So let's try it. I didn't change it so if you spawn a dwarf, you're going to get a shield. But I did go through here and I said that that if there were dwarves that just had one-handed weapons, then let's give them a small shield. So we're going to try that. So all of the living dwarves that had one-handed weapons just also got a shield. So that's not a permanent, I mean, that's not a thing that's going to stay and persist, but let's try it. Let's see what happens when dwarves are using shields now. So there you go. Dwarves now have shields. All right. So now we got 2 VIPs, Dave and Mrs. Dave, both channel members. Thurman Merman and Loot Skywalker are in. The Tabletop Scholar has arrived. Brent has also arrived. John is here. And then we have 10 people who have fought one time. Hey, if you're new here, hit bang spawn. Remember to be typing in the chat. Hit bang spawn. All right, let's go to the holding cell. I think it's time to fight again. Oh, we have 22. We have 22 likes. We need 3 more likes. Maybe by the next stage, we'll have the required 25. Let's try to do it. Okay, let's go to the holding cell and let's draft the party. Let's see. So, Mrs. Dave, Loot Skywalker, level 1 thief. Dave, Thurman Merman, level 1 fighter. The Tabletop Scholar, a nondescript dwarf, level 1. John, an overwhelmed man-at-arms. Brent, a cobbled porter, level 0. The Vulgar Unicorn is here with a beleaguered rat catcher. Courtney, Cheddar Bay Biscuits, level 1 fighter. Wow, Cheddar Bay Biscuits is a rare character, 1 in 354 spawns, and also well-starred. Sable Phoenix, an untested Lector. Proud Star, a bloodshot man-at-arms, level 0. Kyle, a cracked Lector. Made of Meat, a solemn bandit. And Brianna Reynolds, a forsworn blacksmith's apprentice. Let me go and check the thing that I was working on right here. Just 1 second. All right. Okay. So, all right. So, has the odds maker come back? Oh, odds maker's not quite come back yet. Let's see. So, we have how many? We have 7 level 0 characters, and we have 5 level 1 characters in here. Average level of 0.4, 54 HP, 54 HP, average HP 5. Oh, Paper Sneaker says, so are the characters eventually going to fight each other? That's not my plan. My plan is for you guys to always be teammates. But we have Dave, Thurman Merman. Okay, 78. Now we got some chance of survival here. Thurman Merman, 78% chance. Tabletop Scholar, nondescript dwarf, 84% chance. Now we got some characters who might survive. An overwhelmed man-at-arms, level 1 knight, 80%. Vulgar Unicorn's Ratcatcher, 26% chance. I'm sorry. Very low again, Unicorn. Cheddar Bay Biscuits, 82% chance. Proud Star, 83% chance. Forsworn Blacksmith's Apprentice, 25% chance. So now we have some better chances of survival in here. Just 1 second. Let's see. So, says Sable Phoenix says, would it be nice to know what the pre-class labels graduate into? Is a Lector a cleric? Yes. I mean, I know it is, but who else is a cleric? Who turns into a ranger and who turns into a fighter? Well, I mean, we could, I mean, I could just put, wait, what have I got over here? Hang on. We've got Claude working on something, but over here, like, yeah, right here. So actually right here, I think your point is well taken that right here, an untested Lector, well, let me take this down. Like right here, an untested Lector right there. It says level 0 Lector. You want that to say level 0 cleric. Probably should. It's a level 0 cleric. When I originally created this game, I wasn't declaring classes at level 0, but now basically you only go to one thing. So you're basically like a level 0 version of that class. So that's probably should be done. Just 1 second. I am still trying to edit something. Just 1 second. TSL Frontman, dual idea. The loser wins a little difference in XP, then both go to the infirmary. Cannot die from it. Oh, if you're doing PvP, I actually do have an idea for PvP, but it's not here in Zorn's dungeon. It's something else. Just go to spar. It's basically a sparring idea. It's basically a sparring idea, right? But I wasn't. I had a different idea. that was kind of a different line of thought, because that does make things very different than what the Bloodcage is right now with where we are. Just 1 second. I am sorry. I'm trying to alter something. I don't want to go into the Bloodcage without this altered. Just 1 second. We get some music playing from the town. Just a moment, please. TSL Froman says, yeah, it's a little more RPG crunch than you need. You basically expend 2 heroes for a few days in order for one to probably catch up. Now, though, with the one thing it would do is, like, if you had like a Bloodcage, but both sides were fighting, then you would double the number of people who could actually be in the Bloodcage at a time. That is an advantage of it. That would be an advantage of it. Come on. We have not had VIPs. I've noticed that we have not had VIPs. You know, there are so many things, so we can, but, you know, but we also haven't been having a situation where people are saying, oh, this person should certainly have been a VIP, and then we're not. We haven't had that situation, because when we have that situation, I always go back and check on it. But you're right that we have not had VIPs. I know there are so many things that we can do, and I want to do this, and I want to do there's not only more that I want to do with Zorn's Dungeon as far as this game and the story goes once everything gets finished, but there's also other worlds I want to do. It doesn't have to be Zorn's Dungeon every night. Wouldn't that be awesome if there were some other things, other worlds? I've thought about that. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I thought you meant MVPs. No, no VIPs. I think the VIPs got in. I think they got in. The people who were VIPs. I'm sorry. I was thinking about MVP. I was thinking about MVPs. But these are the people who were in right over here, and I believe that the VIPs did get in. Okay. All right. Okay. We're ready now. We are ready now. Okay. Let's go over here to the Bloodcage. Let's go over here. Let's go over to the cage. Let's see. Well, there could be that. Yes. Multiple channels using engines from multiple worlds. I mean, right now, this is very cobbled together to only work on this channel, but could be. Okay. Combat commands. If you're new here, we have new combat commands. Bang AOA, all-out attack, increases attack power, shields and dodge is useless, but armor protects as normal now. Optional, you can add coordinates. The coordinate parameter is optional now. You can add coordinates to attempt to move to that square first. For example, if you type AOA D4, you are going to go to try to get to D4 first. Movement is first on the AOA. Move, bang M, and then coordinates. Bang M space coordinates. That is required. Bang M and coordinates are required in order to accept the command. Moves characters to specified coordinates and will persist upon arrival. Characters still receive an action as normal on their turn. AOD, all-out defense, sacrifices movement and attacks for additional defense. Bang hold, that means hold the line. Characters will not move, but will attack characters in monsters within range. If no action is taken and the character is later attacked, you will be treated as if you had been on an AOD. Bang run now also accept a optional coordinate argument. You will try to retreat. Bang run improves the chance of your breaking an enemy's engagement lock. If that break fails, however, you will defend yourself as if you were on AOD, and then if you do not cancel the order, you will continue to try to run next round. Bang fight, you will fight as if on default. Cancels all previous orders and returns the characters to autoplay mode. That's the way your character is. You do not have to send in orders. That's the way it goes right there. Your character will accept the last order that you send it and will execute it at the start of its turn. Let's open the cage. Okay. This is interesting. It is 12 to 13. You can now see the coordinates on the Bloodcage screen if you need to issue a movement order. Okay, so 12 to 13, but 3 white apes. 12 to 13, but 3 white apes. Courtney, Cheddar Bay Biscuits, front line. Overwhelmed Man-at-Arms, front line. That is of John. Proud Star, Bloodshot Man-at-Arms, front line. Dave, Thurman Merman, front line. The Tabletop Scholar, Nondescript Dwarf, front line. Then Brianna Reynolds, lots of fighter types in here. Forsworn Blacksmith's Apprentice, second line. Mrs. Dave, Luke Skywalker. Vulgar Unicorn, Beleaguered Ratcatcher, second line. Third line, Maid of Meat, Solemn Bandit. Kyle, Cracked Lecter, third line. Brent, a Cobbled Porter, third line. Sable Phoenix, an Untested Lecter, third line. All right, let's see what happens. Let's go. Gremlin's up first, coming into John. Gremlin comes in. Only 1 point of damage. All right, good. 1 point of damage against the Gremlin right there that the Gremlin inflicts. Nondescript Dwarf, Tabletop Scholar. This dwarf comes up to Gremlin number 1. Gremlin suffers 3 points of damage, a moderate piercing wound. Gremlin drops dead, blood pools beneath. Nice job, Tabletop Scholar. Okay, we're going an AOD order. Beleaguered Ratcatcher goes AOD. Okay. Goblin Runt comes up to Proud Star, coming into the Bloodshot Man-at-Arms. A Bloodshot Man-at-Arms, 1 point of damage, a minor piercing wound. Cobbled Porter targets Goblin Runt. Okay, comes in on the Goblin Runt's flank with a club, 3 points of damage, moderate bludgeoning wound. Wait, bang A6 doesn't work. You were trying to do a move order. It's bang M space Sable Phoenix. Bang M space. You got to hit the M. Cheddar Bay Biscuits goes AOD. Thurman Merman moves toward Goblin number 2. Reels for 3 points of damage, a moderate piercing wound. Let's see. All right. White Ape now looking at Tabletop Scholar. White Ape throws at the nondescript dwarf. Deflected. Nondescript dwarf raises his shield in time, and the blow skids harmlessly aside. That was the fairy's shield right there. The fairy's shield helping out the dwarf right there. Luke Skywalker comes in on Goblin number 3. 3 points of damage, drops Goblin number 3. That's the first. Well, is it the first dwarf deflection? There was a dwarf. The tunnel guard has a shield. Naturally evaded. Thurman Mormon Thurman Merman deflected, steps aside. No damage right there. Evasion right there. Nice job on the dodge. Cave Imp now comes into Luke Skywalker. What happened? Oh, I missed it. Nothing. Thurman Mormon dodged. Thurman Mormon. I said it again. Cave Imp comes into Thurman. Flank withers the strike on a temporary ward. 2 HP lost, no wound. Ratkin Mongrel way far away. Ratkin Mongrel coming in from downtown to loot Skywalker in the flank. 3 points of damage. Oh no. Moderate piercing wound. Loot Skywalker has dropped, but is still alive. Dropped, but still alive. Untested Lecter, Sable Phoenix, takes a move order. Hopefully that was the correct move order. Let's see. Sable Phoenix moves up there. Let's see. Overwhelmed Man-at-Arms targets Cave Imp. Comes in to 4 points of damage. Cave Imp. Overwhelmed Man-at-Arms drops Cave Imp down to -2. Cave Imp falls with a final thud. 11 PCs to 8 monsters. 11 to 8. But we have 3 white apes, 2 which have not moved. It's White Ape coming into Overwhelmed Man-at-Arms. John, move order working right where I directed. Excellent. Okay, Overwhelmed Man-at-Arms staggers 2 points of damage. And then turns on Thurman Merman, comes back around hammered for 1 point of damage. Goblin targets Overwhelmed Man-at-Arms. Goblin punches the point at the Man-at-Arms of the crude spear. Evaded! The Overwhelmed Man-at-Arms evades the Goblin's attack with the crude spear. White Ape targets Cheddar Bay Biscuits. White Ape number 2 comes into Cheddar Bay Biscuits. 3 points of damage, 1 turned aside, 2 taken as injury, minor bludgeoning wound. Slimeling. Okay, Slimeling comes into Thurman, or is just going to try to get there. Going to try to get to Thurman. Looks like he'll be able to do it. Slimeling comes in. Oh, but cannot attack. Okay, Cracked Lecter looks at this Slimeling who tried to cut in Thurman's face. Club, 2 points of damage, not enough. Slimeling down to 1 of 3. Solemn Bandit moving towards Slimeling. Slimeling reels from 4 points of damage, moderate bludgeoning wound. That drops Slimeling. We do have a battle line forming in the middle. Proudstar goes fight. Into White Ape. 6 points of damage with a short spear. Nice job. 6 points of damage, short spear. Zorn readies the archers. A volley is incoming. Brianna goes AOA. Brianna's going AOA. Brianna comes up on an AOA order. Going to try to get up into this goblin right here. Comes in. Forsworn Blacksmith's Apprentice sustains 6 points of damage. Major bludgeoning wound. Death claims the goblin. Round 2, initiative deck reshuffled. Let's see. All right, hero first. Solemn Bandit coming right into White Ape. Only 2 points of damage. Maid of Meats, Solemn Bandit only made the ape angry. 7 points of damage. We got Goblin Archers shooting. Nondescript Dwarf, 2 points of damage, minor piercing wound. Overwhelmed Man-at-Arms, 2 points of damage, minor piercing wound. Cheddar Bay Biscuits, Courtney, 2 points of damage, a minor piercing wound that lands hard. Beleaguered Ratcatcher, Vulgar Unicorn, moderate piercing wound. 4 points of damage. Oh no, Beleaguered Ratcatcher of the Vulgar Unicorn drops and is dead. Cracked Lecter goes into Kyle. No wound, 1 stamina point spent only. Bloodshot Man-at-Arms comes in. 2 points of damage, a minor piercing wound. Thurman Merman is impaled for 2 points of damage, minor piercing wound. That was a lot of arrows. Zorn signals to ready the portcullis. Goblins are standing by on the crank. We have 10 PCs to 6 monsters. 10 to 6. Bloodshot Man-at-Arms coming in to White Ape. Take him down. 2 points of damage. Nice job, Proud Star. Bloodshot Man-at-Arms takes out White Ape. White Ape targets Solemn Bandit. White Ape pounds at the Solemn Bandit. 7 points of damage, tremendous bludgeoning wound. Solemn Bandit's eyes go dark. I am sorry. Made of meat, your bandit is dead. We still have 2 White Apes up on the cage. 9 PCs to 5 monsters, but 2 of them are White Apes. Okay, Cracked Lecter coming with a club. 1 point of damage to Ratkin Mongrel. Minor bludgeoning wound. Cave Imp targets Thurman. Cave Imp number 2 targets Thurman. 2 points of damage. I really want Thurman to get out of this. For some reason. Portcullis. Ratkin Gore Strider with Ratkin Gore Child lurches into the cave. Okay. Now, Ratkin Gore Strider comes in to take a swipe. 8 points of damage. 1 turned aside, 7 taken as injury. Brent, your cobbled porter is cut apart by Ratkin Gore Strider. Ratkin Gore Child coming up to Cheddar Bay Biscuits. Come on, Cheddar Bay. Cut for 2 points of damage, minor slashing wound only. Cheddar Bay is still up. 8 PCs to 7 monsters. Come on, force. Brianna's on the AOA. Brianna's on the AOA, and she's right there into the 8. Come on. 5 points of damage. Nice job. Major bludgeoning wound with a mace, but the ape is not quite down yet. Okay, so overwhelmed Man-at-Arms. This is John going to try to finish up the White Ape. 5 points of damage to the White Ape, major piercing wound. You have to be level 1 in order to rename a character. Level 0 characters can't be renamed. You have to be level 1, and you can do it on zornsdungeon.com, or somebody will give you the command in the chat. Cracked Lecter takes 3 points of damage, moderate piercing wound. The Cracked Lecter... Oh, sorry, Kyle. Kyle's Cracked Lecter is dead. It is 7 PCs to 6 monsters. This is the untested Lecter of Sable Phoenix going AOA. Goes AOA into that White Ape. Untested Lecter, devastating strike, pummeled for 10 points of damage with a club. Sable Phoenix comes up, 10 points of damage with a club. The White Ape's legs buckle, and it is over. It is over. Nice job. One-shotted that ape. We needed that in a big way. Goblin now goes into Thurman Merman. Thurman Merman struck for 4 points of damage. Moderate piercing wound. Thurman Merman drops and is on the floor and is unconscious. Cheddar Bay Biscuits accepts the fight order, goes to a fight order, needs to, so goes to Ratkin Gorechild, sets upon him, 8 points of damage. Cheddar Bay Biscuits takes out Ratkin Gorechild, falls with a thud. Nondescript Dwarf. Dwarf is going AOA. Dwarf was going AOA, but moved AOA and back. So I believe that was right. I saw that you put him on AOA. I think I saw that right. And gave a command. I think that was right. If it was not, let me know. Bloodshot Man-at-Arms. Proud Star. Rent for 1 point of damage. Minor slashing wound. Cheddar Bay Biscuits. Get down there to that Ghost Rider. No, Cheddar Bay looks at a goblin over there. Coming down to take out the goblin instead. 4 points of damage to the goblin, cuts him open. Black goblin blood everywhere. Okay, Brianna accepts a fight order. Forsworn Blacksmith now going fight, looking at Ratkin Gorestrider. Okay, nice. Going down, suffers 5 points of damage, major bludgeoning wound that jars the Ratkin Gorestrider's frame. Let's draw again, heroes. Let's draw again. Overwhelmed Man-at-Arms, John. Okay, get down there. Take him out. Let's finish this up. Last stand. Only 1 HP left. Going into Ratkin Gorestrider. Only 1 point of damage with a short spear. does what he can, but we needed more than that. Let's draw a hero again. Oh no, Ratkin Gorstrider is up, going into Brianna Reynolds, tears the Forsworn Blacksmith's Apprentice, 7 points of damage, a tremendous slashing wound. Oh, Brianna's Forsworn Blacksmith's Apprentice drops and is finished. Okay, Ratkin Mongrel looking at the Bloodshot Man-at-Arms. Deflected. Nice job, Proud Star. Deflected. Ratkin Mongrel deflected. Nondescript Dwarf Tabletop Scholar goes fight. Looking at this Ratkin Gorstrider right there goes fight. 7 points of damage to a Ratkin Gorstrider, a tremendous piercing wound. I just saw Proud Star says get wrecked, rodent. I love it. All right, dropped that. We are now at 5 PCs to 2 monsters. Untested Lecter. Let's see. Proud Shot. Let's see. Not sure what happened there. Proud Shot coming into Ratkin Mongrel. Ratkin Mongrel's hit for 9 points of damage right there from Proud Star. Death claims the Ratkin Mongrel. He is out of here. There was a bit of lag in there. Round 4, initiative deck reshuffled. Cave Imp goes first into Cheddar Bay. Cave Imp's going to try to take out Cheddar Bay. Cheddar Bay evades. Cheddar Bay Biscuits reads the Cave Imp swing and simply is not there. Evaded. Okay, let's take out this. Let's take him out. Let's take him out. Let's go. Bloodshot. Proud Star moves toward Cave Imp. Bloodshot comes in 4 points of damage with a short spear. Cave Imp number 2 expires on the Cold Stone. Fell-handed Bloodshot Man-at-Arms gets 3 kills in a row. Nice job. So that did it, right? Victory. 5 walk out alive. 2 are hauled out unconscious. And the crowd roars for the living. There is going to be some lag. There is going to be some lag. 11 XP. 7 survivors share the spoils. You got to get that through Nightbot, and Nightbot's got to report back and things like that. Execution order the round before your character acts. It still is your previous. So the crowd throws coppers to their favorites. Nondescript Dwarf, Tabletop Scholar, 51 coppers. Bloodshot Man-at-Arms, Proud Star, 39. Courtney, 37, 33, and so forth. So crowd coppers have been thrown from the crowd into the cage, so those who are living still get there. Or still get some coppers right there. Let's go to the winch room. Turning the winch. Tabletop Scholar. Untested Lecter. Proud Star. I saw some other blood drops coming in. Let's see. That's the medics. Here we go. We need one more like. in order to get the blessing of the fairy. Overwhelmed Man-at-Arms. Loot Skywalker, a little bit of help there. Thurman, you got through. A little bit of help, not much help from the Goblin Medics. Cheddar Bay Biscuits, 1 HP. Goblin Medics 10 the wound, 1 HP. Goblin Medics 10 another wound. Okay. Nondescript Dwarf Tabletop Scholar. You're doing pretty well right there. Okay, let's go to. Does anybody get promoted? Anybody make it to level 1? Bloodshot Man-at-Arms, level 1 Knight. Untested Lecter, level 1 Cleric. All right, let's sort and dismiss. Remember, if you are new here, if you have a character who is level 1 and is wounded, they will go to the infirmary. And yes, if you take massive wounds, you will be out for a while. Like Dave is still trying to recover. Dave's Stiffy over here. Well, I don't know. That didn't sound very good. Dave's Stiffy is still trying to recover from some massive punishment that he took. I know this is just not sound good, but we're talking about his gnome. That also doesn't sound very good. But anyway, he took 9 mortal slashing wounds. He's going to be out for a 9-point mortal slashing wound. He's going to be out for 32 days under level 1 care. But then also, but your wounds do heal in parallel. So basically, how long you are going to be in the infirmary has to do with the largest wound that you took, because your wounds do heal in parallel. Once you have successfully made it through the blood cage, you move to the stable. If you want to play, I think I just saw that Sable had hit. If you have characters who you will not be drafted to fight if you are in the stable, you must be in the tavern. If you want to move your characters to the tavern, do exactly what Sable Phoenix just did. Bang T space all. That will move all of your characters over from the stable to the tavern in order to fight. So if you are like, hey, where are my characters? I want to fight. They may have moved to the stable. The stable is your safe space. They will not be drafted for the blood cage while they're in the stable. But if you want them to, while they're in the stable, if you want them to fight, you got to hit bang T space all, and you'll move all of your characters over. Or if you want to move them over sort of individually, you can do that at zornsdungeon.com. Log in with the exact same YouTube credentials and YouTube channel and Google credentials. You'll see all of your characters, and you can have finer grained control about wherever you move them. All right. So the tavern. People are saying they're seeing 25. I've got 24. We're registering 24. But you know what? I'm going to grab some more water. So just 1 second. Maybe we'll get to 25. So maybe 20. We need one more like. So can somebody please give us one more like? I'm going to get some water right here. Be right back. All right. We have 2 more cages tonight. Let me see. Just 1 second. All right. We have 2 more blood cages. Just 1 second. All right. Let's see. So what's been going on? Everybody got everything together that they need to get together? Swanzo VIP, Brianna Reynolds, a bruised dwarf armor's apprentice. TSL Frontman is here. We've got Paper Sneakers, SKD Fish, Brent, and the Tabletop Scholar, who have all fought 1 time. Present and fought 2 times. Made of Meat, Proud Star, Vulgar, Unicorn, Mrs. Dave, Mrs. Dave, and Sable Phoenix. All right. Oh, we got it. Okay, we got it. I see it. Wait, what did I just see? I'm just looking at the comments right here. TSL Frontman says, Dave Stiffy took more than 4 hours of punishment. Had to consult a doctor. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's go to the Blessing of the Fairy. We have earned the Blessing of the Fairy. 26 likes, 26 likes. Let's go. The Blessing of the Fairy. There we go. All right. Everybody got their temporary hit points. Should be coming up here. Temporary hit points. There we go. That registered. If your name is in blue, that means you have the Blessing of the Fairy. That will last for 24 hours. And this also over here indicates that is your blessing. of the fairy. Everybody who has the blessing of the fairy will get +1 temporary hit points. And if you have been watching anything about these blood cages, you need every possible health point you can get. So +1 temporary hit point to everybody in the cage. That is a big deal. All right. Thank you to everyone who has liked the stream. All right, let's go into Bloodcage number 3. Sable, I believe, just sent in a chat. Sable Phoenix, Cedric? Yes, Cedric is in. Cedric's in and fully buffed. Okay, let's draft. Got you. Draft the party. TSL Frontman says, idea for notifications basically being like trophies, badges, tallies for different notification types, especially avenged, survived, near death, boss kills. Oh, like, okay, well, avenged, there was something like avenged in early on, but it kind of got dropped because people weren't, it wasn't something that it was easily followed. But there could be more notifications and badges. There could be. All right, oh, look at that. So Brianna says, Brianna has in a bruised dwarf armor's apprentice, level 0. You are in. Swanzo, level 1 gnome, uncommon and well-starred. Sable Phoenix, Cedric Blackhand, level 1 paladin, who is in and also fully buffed right here. Fully buffed and has the +1 blessing of the fairy. The tabletop scholar, a nondescript dwarf. TSL Frontman, a tarnished gnome forager. Brent says, has Fanbiz the Unfabulous in, level 1 mage. Paper Sneaker, a discarded town watchman. SKD Fish, an unsteady bandit, level 0 and ill-starred. Kyle has a haggard halfling burglar's apprentice in, level 0 and uncommon. Mrs. Dave, a tattered dwarf brewer, level 0 and uncommon. The vulgar unicorn has a mended cartographer's assistant in, level 0 and ill-starred. And this is Dave, a headstrong acolyte. So this is a dwarf with the shield. I was wondering about that. So this dwarf the bruised armor's apprentice has a shield. So we have a shielded dwarf in here. We got 58 hit points. Oh, we have 8 party size level 8, not level 8. We have 8. No. Excuse me. I said that wrong. We have 8 level 0 characters. 8 level 0 characters in here, 4 level 1 characters, average level of 0.3, total HP 58, average HP 5. All right, let's get the odds maker in here. Go, great odds. Okay, Bruised Armor's Apprentice, Brianna, great odds of getting out, 74%. Swanzo, 70. Sable Phoenix, 85. Tabletop Scholar, 76. TSL Frontman, 63. Brent, 76. Unsteady Bandit of SKD Fish, only 28% chance of getting him out. Let's play smart and try to get him out there. Vulgar Unicorn has mended cartographer's assistant, 89% chance. Dave, 84% chance. Okay, well, this may be a pretty good cage. Just checking one thing before I get in there. Oh, Sable Phoenix throwing in. Whoa, oh, Sable Phoenix just buffed everybody. Sable Phoenix threw in a buff for, let's see, nondescript dwarf Fanbiz, a bruised armor's apprentice. That's Brianna. So Brianna, Brent, tabletop scholar. Swanzo also buffed everybody, buffed all 4 fighters for everything. Sable's trying to make this one a massacre and a rout. Okay, Sable wants this one to be a rout. Okay, we are going in with like full power. We are going in on full power in this one. Okay, I was trying to. Okay, all right. Okay, I think what I was trying to do is I was trying to get that command up there at the top, the move command, to display the location. So there we go. All right. So TS up like a personal leaderboard. Like, are you trying to rescue people? Yeah, I get where you're from. A notification for avenging a fallen ally. That code is in there someplace. Maybe it needs, the thing was with level 0 characters, nobody noticed. But like maybe once we get to level 1 or something, avenging allies is an important thing. Something to keep track of. All right, combat commands. AOA, all out attack, increases attack power. Shields and dodge are useless. Optional, you can add coordinates to attempt to move to that square first to attack. So the coordinates of the AOA is an optional argument. Bang move requires coordinates because your character will be moved to the specified coordinates and will persist. That command will persist until they arrive there. Characters still receive an action as normal on their turn. You're not giving anything up by going bang move. You are still balanced offense, defense, and move. But you are moving to a particular direction. AOD sacrifices movement and attacks for additional defense. Bang hold the line. Characters will not move, but will attack monsters within range. If there is no action taken, the character's later attacked will be treated as if on AOD. Run improves your chance of breaking an enemy's engagement lock. If the break fails, defense, you will defend as AOD and will try to run away again next turn. If you add in the optional coordinate argument, then you will try to run toward that location. Bang fight returns you to default. You don't have to give any command. Bang fight is all you have to do. Characters will accept the last order you give and will execute it at the start of their next turn. Let's open the cage. Now, orders. Orders shall be accepted. So you send in orders. You can send in orders. Combat orders now. All right. Tabletop Scholar, Nondescript Dwarf, front line. Brianna, Bruised Dwarf Armor's Apprentice, front line. Sable Phoenix, Cedric Blackhand, front line. Mrs. Dave, lots of dwarves. Tattered Dwarf Brewer, front line right there. Second line, Paper Sneaker, Disgraced Town Watchman, second line. Kyle, Burglar's Apprentice, second line. SKD Fish, Unsteady Bandit, second line. Swanzo, second line. Dave, Headstrong Acolyte, third line. TSL Frontman, a Tarnished Gnome Forager, third line. Brent, Fanbiz the Unfabulous, third line. Mended Cartographer's Assistant, third line. Now, what are we looking at right here? 13 monsters with 3 white apes. Of course, it's 3 white apes. 3 white apes, but only 13 monsters. So as far as the action economy goes, only 13 monsters, but there are 3 white apes. Let's start the fight. All right, let's fight. Okay, Cave Imp's going to go first, coming into Mrs. Dave into this brewer. Blow connects, but the borrowed strength turns it aside. 1 temporary HP burned, and there's no damage. Haggard Halfling targets Cave Imp. Kyle comes in to to Cave Imp's flank, coming in 3 points of damage. Nice job, Haggard Halfling. Puts down Cave Imp number 3. Cave Imp targets the Haggard Burglar's Apprentice. Cave Imp coming into Halfling. Rolls with the strike, 1 stamina spent only. White Ape looking at the nondescript dwarf of the Tabletop Scholar. Not able to do anything, though. Not able to get a beat on him for the boulder. So Unsteady Bandit of SKD Fish comes into Cave Imp. 2 points of damage. Drops Cave Imp. Nice job, SKD Fish. Cave Imp now coming into Haggard Halfling of Kyle. Cave Imp number 3 comes into Kyle. Lands the blow. No damage. 2 stamina points burned only. 12 PCs to 11 monsters. Okay, AOA. Fanbiz going AOA. Fanbiz going AOA. Looking for a target. Let's see. Can find the large white ape out there. Fanbiz casts at the large white ape. Sees him looming large on the battlefield. 5 points of damage. 5 points of damage. Nice job, Fanbiz. Goblin now coming in at the Dwarf Armorer. Probably going to get, yes, goes into the Unsteady Bandit instead. Oh, brutal, critical. 9 points of damage, 1 turned aside, 8 taken as injury, tremendous piercing wound. Goblin number 2 shoved the spear right through the Unsteady Bandit's neck through the skull. I mean, that was brutal. That was probably very nasty. White Ape comes in toward the haggard burglar. White Ape comes in on the apprentice's flank into Kyle, a haggard burglar's apprentice. 1 point of damage only, minor bludgeoning wound. Swanzo looking at Cave Imp. Swanzo's coming up to Cave Imp, coming into his flank. 8 points of damage, tremendous bludgeoning wound with a mace. Swanzo comes up and just caves in the skull of the Cave Imp. Okay, 11 PCs to 10 monsters. Goblin now looking at the haggard halfling's apprentice of Kyle. 4 points of damage. Kyle is still up, a moderate piercing wound. Cave Imp targets a nondescript dwarf. Cave Imp number 2 comes into the nondescript dwarf, but a protective ward drinks it up. 2 temporary HP spent only. Goblin, man, we need some heroes to draw. Goblin gets stuck by the nondescript dwarf of the tabletop scholar, comes in. Goblin number 1, 3 points of damage, 1 turned aside, 2 taken as injury. Okay, Mended Cartographer's assistant goes hold, going hold from the back. Will he be able to find a target? That White Ape does look large, looming all over these goblins. So yes, can get Firebolt off into the White Ape. 4 points of damage, a moderate fire wound. The White Ape lets out a final snarl and falls. Gremlin. Gremlin targets Cedric Blackhand. Gremlin coming up, trying to get to Swanzo, perhaps instead. Disgraced Town Watchman, Paper Sneaker targets Cave Imp. Coming up into Cave Imp, 3 points of damage. Nice job, Disgraced Town Watchman, with a long spear. Puts the long spear through the cave. Bruised Dwarf Armor's apprentice goes AOA to D1. Accepts AOA to D1. Nice. That looks like that was right. And then comes in on Goblin number 1. Goblin takes a puncture wound of 10 points of damage with the spiky end of the Warhammer. This feels like it's going well with the move commands. This feels like it's going well. Zorn readies the archers. A volley is incoming. White Ape. Now, White Ape targets a haggard halfling. Probably going to throw at Kyle. Oh, going to throw at Kyle. Oh, critical hit. Uh-oh. Kyle takes 8 points of damage. I am sorry, Kyle, your haggard halfling burglar's apprentice has dropped a tremendous wound. Sorry about that, Kyle. Let's see. Headstrong Acolyte targets White Ape. Does he have a spell? Yes, going Sacred Flame. Go critical strike at White Ape, scoured with radiance for 9 points of damage, a grievous radiant wound. Nice job, dropped White Ape in a single hit. Nice job. Arrow Storm. Zorn looses the volley. Oh, we got to take 6 arrows. A Bruised Dwarf Armor's apprentice goes 4 damage, 3 turned aside, 1 taken as injury. Cedric takes 4 damage, 3 turned aside, 1 taken as injury. Nondescript Dwarf takes 4 points of damage, a moderate piercing wound. Disgraced Town Watchman takes the impact of 1 stamina only. Takes the impact through stamina. No wound. Stamina only. Dave, Headstrong Acolyte, bites his shield into his shielding blessing, not flesh. 1 temporary hit point expended. The Tarnished Gnome Forager of TSL Frontman, 4 turned aside, 1 taken as 1 turned aside, 3 taken as injury, rather. Okay, Zorn signals now. The grid isn't visible enough. What if I moved it to the corner? Tattered Dwarf Brewer. Hammered for 3 points of damage, a moderate bludgeoning wound that takes its toll. I should also put that probably up on the website so you can just see all of the coordinates. Goblin moves toward, Goblin number 5 moves toward Bruised Armor's Apprentice. 1 point of damage, minor piercing wound. That was good. 10 PCs to 5 monsters. It's 10 PCs to 5 monsters. Let's put them down. Tarnished Gnome Forager. This is a sling stone that goes into Goblin number 2. 2 points of damage. Oh, the Jumbotron. The Jumbotron. I see what you're saying. Gore Strider with Ratkin Gorechild coming in. Ratkin Gore Strider targets Headstrong Acolyte. 7 points of damage, a tremendous slashing wound. Dave, your Headstrong Acolyte has fallen. Ratkin Gorechild targets the Mended Cartographer's Assistant of the Vulgar Unicorn. 2 damage, 1 turned aside, and 1 taken as injury. Goblin now targets a Bruised Dwarf Armor's Apprentice. Retargets to Mrs. Dave, this brewer right here. Evaded. The dwarf is like spry right here. The tattered dwarf brewer gives ground with a strike and takes none of it. Nothing. Nice job. Nondescript dwarf goes fight. This is Tabletop Scholar going a fight order into the Ratkin Gore Strider. Let's hit him hard. Sustains 10 points of damage, doing what a dwarf does. A grievous piercing wound. The Ratkin Gore Strider's body goes limp, and it is finished. This is still the first round? Cedric Blackhand, Sable Phoenix going AOA to B1. Round number 2, initiative deck reshuffles. Okay, nondescript dwarf. Let's see. Wounded but fighting goes to Goblin number 5. 10 points of damage to the Goblin. 10 points of damage to the Goblin. A final snarl and falls. Well, you think that was too late? You think there was too much of a delay there or something? Did you not move where you were trying to go to? Oh, the Gore Strider got killed. And your order didn't get put in? Tattered Dwarf Brewers hit for 3 points of damage. Moderate piercing wound. Swanzo targets Ratkin Gorechild, comes in. Ratkin Gorechild is going to take in the flank, hit for 5 points of damage. That is enough. Swanzo puts down Ratkin Gorechild. Disgraced Town Watchman, 1 point of damage. Only 1 point of damage on Goblin number 4. Goblin now targeting the Bruised Dwarf Armor's Apprentice. 5 point damage, a major piercing wound drops the guard. Oh no, Brianna's Bruised Dwarf Armor's Apprentice has fallen and is gone. I am sorry, Brianna. We lost one of our dwarves. Fanbiz the Unfabulous, looking over there at White Ape. Fanbiz the Amphibious. That's a new word. 4 points of damage to the White Ape, a moderate fire wound. Cedric Blackhand now coming back around. White Ape looking at who? Oh no. Now the White Ape is coming into Cedric. 2 points of damage, minor bludgeoning wound. Is he going to have to take this again? Oh, 1 point of damage, minor bludgeoning wound. Accepts the hold order. Tarnished Gnome is accepting a hold order. Is he the one who has a sling? Yes, I think so. So the Tarnished Gnome is going in with a sling to the White Ape. White Ape takes 2 points of damage, a minor bludgeoning wound. Let's take this ape down. Nice job, Gnomish Forager. Okay, we're going AOA B3. Targeting the White Ape right there. White Ape sustains 3 points of damage, moderate fire wound. White Ape hits the stone and doesn't rise. Gremlin. Gremlin targets Cedric Blackhand. Deflected. Deflected. Cedric Blackhand deflects the Gremlin's attack. Tattered Dwarf Brewer, Miss Dave, goes into the Goblin. Just crush this Goblin. 2 points of damage. That wasn't quite crushing the Goblin, but with the club, light fades from the Goblin's eyes. Goblin number 4 is dead. That works. That works. 8 PCs to 2 monsters. Round 3, the initiative deck is getting shuffled. Let's start this over. FanViz, this is Brent, still on the AOA, looking at this Goblin over here. Launches a firebolt at the Goblin. Goblin, 6 points of damage, major fire wound, drops the Goblin. Nice job. Doing very well. 8 PCs to 1. Nondescript Dwarf going AOA. Dwarf looking at AOA. Tabletop Scholar. Where are you going with this Gremlin? Just crush this Gremlin. Just crush this Gremlin. Tabletop Scholar comes in on the Gremlin's flank. Gremlin's flank. Nondescript Dwarf, 13 points of damage. Catastrophic bludgeoning wound with the Warhammer. You splatter that Gremlin. You splatter that Gremlin. Fell-handed as well. Nice job. Nice job. Victory. 8 souls walk out alive. The crowd roars for the living. Nice job. 8, yeah, 8. Nobody was even fallen. That's nice. Okay. So 10 XP each. Everybody who survived that gets 10 XP. And then, let's see. Is the crowd going to throw any coins? Crowd throws coppers to their favorites. 192 coppers go out to everybody. That's what you've earned. They like the nondescript dwarf. Tabletop Scholar, 56. Swanzo also got 37. So there you go. Oh, Bloodcage MVP. The Tabletop Scholar got an MVP. Nondescript dwarf carries the cage with 3 kills. 3 kills. There we go. Nice job. The Tabletop Scholar gets a Bloodcage MVP. We were just saying it's been a while since we've seen one of those. Nice, nice work. Nice work. Nice work, Tabletop Scholar. MVP. Turn the winch. Mrs. Dave, Tattered Dwarf, Vulgar Unicorn, got a blood drop. Tarnished Gnome Forager, got it. Swanzo. Yep, all right. So, there we go. Let's deploy the Goblin Medics. Cedric Blackhand. Goblin Medics can try to help out Sable. +1 wound, right? +1 HP right there. Nondescript Dwarf, +1 HP. Okay. Let's go to promotions. TSL Frontman. Gnome, level 1. Tarnished Gnome Forager. TSL Frontman. Level 1 Gnome. Wounds wash away. Disgraced Town Watchman, Paper Sneaker, Fighter, level 1, and your wounds are washed away. Tattered Dwarf Brewer, Mrs. Dave, Dwarf, level 1. And your wounds are washed away. Mended Cartographer's Assistant, the Vulgar Unicorn, Mage, level 1. Your wounds are washed away. Mage Armor, which is not functional right now, but you did do that. What you're saying that pretty much none of what Blackhand did or suffered would have happened if the actions were queued. You're saying, okay, if we have universal command input, we need turn-based orders. Tell me more about you need turn-based orders. All right, let's sort and dismiss. Nondescript Dwarf and his friends go celebrate in the winch room. Going to celebrate in the winch room. Nondescript Dwarf celebrating your MVP in the winch room. Nice job. Nice job. Go party. Go celebrate. Definitely worth it. All right, let's go back to the tavern. Oh, Joe's here. Joe is present. So Joe is here. Let's see. All right. Okay, I will try to look at Discord. I've still been I've been working on this, so I have not looked at Discord. So yeah, you can definitely send it to me by Discord. Joe, let's see, is going to be in. Joe is here, has not fought yet tonight, so Joe's going to be in. We got some characters who have fought 2 times. We got some characters who have fought 3 times. We got one more fight tonight. We've got one more fight tonight. So now is your chance. If you are watching new, hit exclamation point spawn. It's up there at the top. Bang spawn. Oh, Sable Phoenix just gifted a membership. Thank you so much, Sable. Sable gifted a membership to Joe Bernitson. Oh, okay. Received a Knight of the Geekverse membership. Well, thank you. Joe is in now. All right, let's finish this. Courtney says the Tabletop Scholars Untrained Woodsman is going to be in. All right, I mean, let's go. Let's go. One more fight tonight. Let's go one more fight tonight. I feel like I feel like this is going pretty well. Like this could have been just collapsed everything tonight, but I feel like it's going well. I feel like it is. Draft the party. Here we go. Tabletop Scholar, an Untrained Woodsman. Starborn, level 0, and Starborn, top 2% of all ability scores. Joe Bernitson, a Shabby Town Militia, level 0. Brent, not Interface, level 1 Elf. All right, you are in there. Swanzo, the Faltering Halfling Farmer, level 0, uncommon. Maid of Meat, a Witless Antiquarian's Assistant, level 0. Proud Star, a Mismatched Lector, level 0. Sable Phoenix, a Naive Cut Purse, level 0. Dave, Bert, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blood drops, has been through the cage 5 times. Bert, Dave, no Fs, level 1 gnome. The Vulgar Unicorn, an Unproven Cartographer's Assistant, level 0. Brianna Reynolds, a Floundering Blacksmith's Apprentice. Kyle, a Threadbare Blacksmith's Apprentice. Mrs. Dave, an Unseasoned Merchant's Guard. There we go. Yeah, so Sable says, I think it's going quite well. I think it is. I mean, yeah, so I think this is going well. I still see some things I want to change up, but they're details. They're not like, oh, the move command is not working, because that would have been a bad idea. The move command, I feel like, I said that I thought the combat commands were a game changer. Adding in the movement control, like who thought you could do that? You're gonna do a role-playing game through the chat, and you're actually gonna have actual combat on a grid, and you're gonna be able to control that through the chat. Who thought that was even possible? We're making it happen right here. Let's see. Tabletop Scholar, changes keep it engaging, fun, and interesting. Yes. So then we got to move forward. We got to move forward into level 1 stuff. Oh, we got some great odds right here. The odds maker has come back. Faltering Halfling Farmer, level 0, but 73% chance of making it out. Maid of Meat, 78% chance of making it out. Dave, 83% chance of making it out. That's Bert's gnome. It's Brianna right here. Brianna, a Floundering Blacksmith's Apprentice, 28% chance. Mrs. Dave, an Unseasoned Merchant's Guard, 76% chance. So I will see. I will see about the lag. I mean, I will investigate any potential sources of that, because that is a big deal. That's a big deal. I mean, there's only so good we're going to be able to do in this kind of environment. It's only so good we're going to do. But if it's possible to do better, then I'll investigate it and see if we can do better. Oh, Joe got out of the room. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. All right, you're fighting. You are fighting with the new rules. This is a very green cage. 10 level 0 characters, only 2 level 1s in it. Very green cage. Last fight of the night. Here we go. So, Joe, come on in. New combat commands. Do I need to go over this? I don't know. All-out attack. This time you can add coordinates to that to move. Let's see. Move, bang M, coordinates. You must put coordinates in order to move. If you want to issue a move command. Issue a move command. All-out defense, bang AOD. Hold the line, bang hold. Retreat, bang run. You can include coordinates optionally. Bang fight. Your character will accept the last order given and will execute it at the start of its next turn. All right, let's open the cage. Here we go. One last fight. Open the cage. Here we go. Cage is open now. Okay, Kyle, Threadbare Blacksmith's Apprentice, front line right there. Then Joe Bernitson, right front line. Shabby Town Militia, front line. Mrs. Dave, an Unseasoned Merchant's Guard, front line. Brianna Reynolds, a Floundering Blacksmith's Apprentice, front line. Tabletop Scholar, an untrained woodsman, second line. Swanzo, a faltering halfling farmer, second line. Sable Phoenix, a naive cut purse, second line. Brent, not into face, second line. Dave, Bert, third line. Proud Star, a mismatched lector, third line. Made of Meat, a witless antiquarian's assistant, third line. Vulgar Unicorn, an unproven antiquarian's assistant, third line. 13 monsters only. Oh, but it's 2 white apes. This was a rather green cage. This was a green cage. 13 monsters only, but there are 2 white apes. We got to take them down. Let's take them down early. We only have 2 wizards here. But let's start the fight. Okay, Goblin Runt. Okay, starting this off by coming in. Floundering Blacksmith's Apprentice takes 4 points of damage. Oh my God, the Goblin Runt comes up with a rusty shiv and just cuts down the Floundering Blacksmith's Apprentice immediately. Uh-oh, that is not how we wanted to start that. A mismatched Lector coming in to fill that hole in the line. 2 points of damage, a minor bludgeoning wound that drops the Goblin Runt. Okay, White Ape targets an unseasoned Merchant's Guard, probably going to throw. White Ape number 2 comes in to throw into Mrs. Dave, takes 2 points of damage, 1 turned aside and 1 taken as injury only. Okay, Cave Imp, now looking at Merchant's Guard. Cave Imp comes into Mrs. Dave, an unseasoned Merchant's Guard, 2 points of damage, minor slashing wound. Made of Meat going AOA. Made of Meat going AOA. Probably going to have to move in order to get a bead on something. We're going to see. Made of Meat wants to get, yes, can't shoot from the 3rd rank. Couldn't see. So stepped out in order to make an aggressive attack on the White Ape. Oh, for only 3 points of damage, though. White Ape, witless Antiquarian's Assistant, takes that. Okay, Threadbare Blacksmith's Apprentice goes hold on a hold order, so trying to create a battle line right there and gets into Cave Imp's flank. Good move, staying with the battle line, going into Cave Imp number 2's flank. Nice job. Cave Imp's legs buckle, and it is over. Okay, Untrained Woodsman, Tabletop Scholar targets Goblin. Oh, Tabletop Scholar's coming up in here with a hand axe into the Goblin's head, drops Goblin number 1. Okay, the Untrained Woodsman, lots of HP and also stamina, getting out there, got ahead of things and cut things down. Unseasoned Merchant, Mrs. Dave, goes into, all right, White Ape, let's bring down this White Ape. Unseasoned Merchant's Guard skewers him with a short spear. Oh, but not quite dead. Not quite dead. Needed a little bit more. Not into face. Brent targets White Ape. Okay, bring it down. Bring it down. We need to spend another character to do it. Let's do it. White Ape. White Ape flares. 4 points of damage. Moderate fire wound. That White Ape could have done a lot more damage to us. White Ape number 2 drops. Ratkin Mongrel, okay, it's coming into Mrs. Dave, lunging, fangs first, evaded, Unseasoned Merchant Guard dodges and weaves, Mrs. Dave evades, nothing going on right there. Bert accepts an AOA order, Bert looking for an AOA, okay, Kobold Crawler moves towards the Untrained Woodsman. Let's see. Untrained Woodsman does take an impact, no damage, but 1 stamina spent burned. Goblin targets unseasoned, or deflected. Goblin number 3, Mrs. Dave, deflected. Nice job. Shabby Town Militia, this is Joe, going to bang M to E3. That seems to work as anticipated. Walks up, 1 point of damage to a Goblin right there. Trying to form the battle line into Zone 2 right there. Kobold Crawler fires at the unseasoned Merchant's Guard. Deflected. Mrs. Dave standing like a rock right there. Shield up, meets the blow, and sparks fly. Epic defense, 3 times unscathed. Nice job. Absorbing those monster actions. Nice job. Goblin now comes into a Shabby Town Militia. Shabby Town Militia reads the swing and rides it through. 1 unhurt, 1 stamina point spent. Only. Sable Phoenix goes AOA. Sable Phoenix, where is Sable Phoenix? The cut purse. Why? Okay, Sable Phoenix is moving up. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Vulgar Unicorn says, this is a ton of fun. When do you normally go live? Typically, it's about 8:15 Central Time weeknights. It's between 8 o'clock Central Time and 8:30 weeknights. But about 8:15 weeknights, Monday through Friday. White Ape comes up into Shabby Town. Oh, my God. Oh, but the Shabby Town Militia's half helm cracks and sheds. A near miss with death. A Shabby Town Militia is staggered. The White Ape still came through that helm. 1 turned aside, 2 taking his injury. Turns on Unseasoned Merchant's Guard. Now deflected, though. The White Ape turns around to the Unseasoned Merchant's Guard. And untouchable now. Mrs. Dave has gone 4 in a row. Wait, did she not get damaged there? Vulgar. Nice. Vulgar Unicorn accepts AOA. Vulgar's going AOA. Throwing Firebolt at the White Ape. White Ape reels from 3 points of damage, moderate fire wound. A volley is incoming. Zorn is readying the archers. Cave Imp targets Naive Cut Purse coming in, looking at Sable Phoenix's Naive Cut Purse. 3 points of damage, 1 turned aside, 2 taking his injury. Oh, Sable's Naive Cut Purse drops and is dead. Naive Cut Purse staggers once and falls forever. Arrow Storm. Zorn looses the volley. We've got 4 arrows coming in. Arrows coming in. Witless Antiquarian's Assistant, made of meat, rolls with the strike, unhurt, but 1 stamina point spent. Unseasoned Merchant's Guard, Mrs. Dave. An Unseasoned Merchant's Guard takes 3 points of damage, a moderate piercing wound. Oh no, Mrs. Dave falls and is dead from the Arrow Storm. Oh, after all that. An Unproven Cartographer's Assistant, Vulgar. This is Vulgar, 2 damage, 1 turned aside. Bert. Twist with the strike, 1 stamina point spent, no wound. Faltering Halfling, Swanzo targets Rattling Mongrel. Rattling Mongrel is pierced for 3 points of damage, moderate piercing wound. Faltering Halfling Farmer takes down Ratkin Mongrel. Let's see. We are 9 PCs to 7 monsters. Gremlin now moving up to an Untrained Woodsman. 1 point of damage to the Untrained Woodsman. Zorn signals to ready the portcullis. Ratkin Mongrel targets a faltering halfling farmer. Swanzo, let's see, rolls with it. No damage, 2 stamina points burned. Only, no actual damage. Stamina only. Round 2, initiative deck is reshuffled. We're at the start of the lineup, and Untrained Woodsman has gone first, going into Gremlin. 1 point of damage, but that's enough to take down a Gremlin. Gremlin goes. Goblin targets faltering halfling. Goblin comes in with a crude spear, brutal, critical. 9 points of damage, 1 turned aside, 8 taking his injury. Oh my God, Swanzo. Oh, the faltering halfling farmer has perished. The faltering halfling farmer is cut down instantly. That was messy as well. That was messy. Ugh. Okay, Mismatched Lecter moves toward the White Ape. Proudstar targets Goblin number 3. 1 point of damage. Mismatched Lecter Proudstar goes into Goblin number 1. Unproven Cartographer's Assistant. targets White Ape, I believe, on the AOA. So Unicorn is going with a firebolt into White Ape. White Ape's hit for another 3 points of damage, a moderate fire wound. Portcullis, Ratkin Gorechild. Ratkin Gorechild is lurching into the cage behind us. Ratkin Gorechild is coming in. Oh, it goes to Bert, who is on an AOA. Only 1 point of damage. Whoa, only 1 point of damage. That could have been much, much worse. He was on an AOA. Let's see. Now, Ratkin Mongrel coming into Joe's flank here, the Shabby Town Militia. The Shabby Town Militia takes a puncture wound of 2 points of damage, a minor piercing wound, and that lands clean. Now, okay, it's Joe's turn. Shabby Town Militia going AOA, going AOA. Where is he going? No, right there, going AOA right into this White Ape like a town militiaman who wants to be a hero does. 2 points of damage, but that is enough. White Ape, the light fades from his eyes. Shabby Town Militia, you have dropped the White Ape. Witless Antiquarian's Assistant, made of meat, targets the Goblin. Looks like he's on an AOA. Witless Antiquarian's Assistant casts Acid Splash, coming in on the Goblin's flank. Let's go. Goblin, 4 points of damage, moderate acid wound. The Goblin drops dead, blood pools beneath. Cave Imp. Cave Imp targets Shabby Town Militia. Cave Imp comes in on the flank, 2 points of damage only. Shabby Town Militia, you are still up. Bert, on an AOA. Looks like you're on an AOA. This Ratkin Gorechild came right up next to you. So you go Poison Spray, 3 points of damage, moderate poison wound, festering into that Ratkin Gorechild. Gonna need some help there. Gonna need some help. 8 PCs up to 5 monsters. Kobold Crawler number 1 throws into Tabletop Scholar. Evades. Tabletop Scholar evades the attack. Tabletop Scholar evades the attack. Threadbare Blacksmith's Apprentice goes fight, going to a fight order, targeting the Ratkin Gorechild, going to help you out. Yes, come on, cut him down. Kyle with a mace, devastating strike. Ratkin Gorechild slammed with a mace for 7 points of damage, tremendous bludgeoning wound. Death claims the Ratkin Gorechild. 8 PCs up to 4 monsters. 8 PCs to 4 monsters. Kobold Crawler throws a dart into the Shabby Town Militia's flank. 2 points of damage, a minor piercing wound. The life leaves the Shabby Town Militia. I am sorry, Joe. A Shabby Town Militia, you have perished. 7 PCs to 4 monsters. Not into face Brent, now coming up to Kobold Crawler. With a firebolt, 5 points of damage, a major fire wound. Kobold Crawler number 2, his body goes limp and it's finished. Burned him alive. 7 PCs to only 3 monsters this time. Round number 3, initiative deck is reshuffled. Threadbare Blacksmith's Apprentice goes to Cave Imp. Cave Imp number 1, cut him down. 3 points of damage to the Cave Imp, a moderate bludgeoning wound. The Cave Imp falls with a final thud. Fell-handed, a Threadbare Blacksmith's Apprentice gets fell-handed, 3 kills in a row. Kobold Crawler looking at Tabletop Scholar's Untrained Woodsman, comes in with a long knife, 3 points of damage, moderate piercing wound. Bert, still on an AOA, looking at Kobold Crawler, comes up. We got Poison Spray again. Bert casts Poison Spray into Kobold Crawler, envenomed for 5 points of damage, a major poison wound. Kobold Crawler hits the stone and does not rise. Unproven Cartographer's Assistant. This is Unicorn, Vulgar Unicorn, looking at Ratkin Mongrel. Coming up Attacking with a dagger? Yes, attacks him in with a dagger, 4 points of damage. Nice job, Vulgar. Comes up, cuts the Ratkin mongrel's throat, takes him to -2. Victory! Victory! 7 souls walk out alive, and the crowd roars for the living. 7 got out. Okay, 7 got out. All right, nice work, everybody. Nice work. Where else are we going here? 8 XP each, plus 8 XP to all of the survivors. Nice work. Now, what about some coin throw? Do the people who are watching like it? We got a coin throw. Yes, 139 coppers went out. Threadbare Blacksmith, 37. You get the most. Untrained Woodsman, 18. Bert, 13. Unproven Cartographer's Assistant, 9. Everybody gets some coins thrown at them. The crowd decides their favorites and throws coins at everybody. So there we go. Let's go to the winch room and haul everybody up. Let's haul everybody up from the cage. Let everybody get their blood drops who survived. Let's deploy the goblin medics. So, Bert, nothing going right there. Oh, that was it? Okay. Let's go to promotions. So, Witless Antiquarian's Assistant, Mage, level 1, made of meat. Made of meat. Level 1 Mage, got through. Magic Missile, spell learned. Not functional, but you learned it. Mismatched Lector, Proud Star, Cleric, level 1. You got through. Nice job. The Unproven Cartographer's Assistant, the Vulgar Unicorn, level 1 Mage. Wounds washed away. Protection from evil. Threadbare Blacksmith's Apprentice, Kyle, level 1 Fighter. Wounds washed away. Untrained Woodsman, Tabletop Scholar, Ranger, level 1. Wounds wash away. All right, let's go to sort and dismiss. Let's go to the leaderboard. That was the last fight, but then we're going to go to the leaderboard. We got the leaderboard tonight. Infirmary. We got 31 patients in the infirmary who are all trying to heal. Some of them will be out tomorrow. Next healing in 23 hours, 32 minutes. Bongaroo. So, yeah, so people will be coming out right here. All right, let's go to the leaderboard. Let's watch. We got the stable. Let's go to the leaderboard. Let's see. Now, I have not gotten to, on the website, you can toggle between like last month, last 6 months. Right now, all I have right here are the complete leaderboards. But I think we need to start talking about like what's happened in the last, I mean, we've been playing long enough now, last month, things like that. But this is right now, this is all time. Right now, this is all time. Most kills. Did anybody get on the all-time top 25 most kills? No, not tonight. That didn't change. Cage MVPs, yes. The nondescript dwarf of the Tabletop Scholar is now tied at number 5, top 25, because you have an MVP. MVPs are hard to get. So Tabletop Scholar, you really need to name the nondescript dwarf right there because he's an MVP. So he deserves a name. So a nondescript dwarf of the Tabletop Scholar, 1 MVP. You can tell right here, if you're new here, top 25. I mean, if you get an MVP, you're basically in the top 25. Everybody who has 1 is tied for top for the 5th slot. Who is killing the most boss monsters? The boss monsters right now are, if you are new here, the apes, and then also anything that comes out of the portcullis. Did anybody go up in this? Yes, nondescript dwarf Tabletop Scholar is showing up for the first time on the top 25, having killed 3 major monsters. Now has tied at 15. Cheddar Bay Biscuits as well has killed 3 and showing up for first time at the number 15. Not Indiface also showing up in the top 25 for the first time, tied at number 15 with 3 major monsters slain. Damage Dealer. This is the biggest damage dealers across their entire career. Anybody coming up on this tonight? No, not tonight. Most Bruised. Let's see. Cheddar Bay Biscuits is up on the top 25 for having taken the most damage. 25 points of damage taken. That ties Cheddar Bay Biscuits at 14 with a few other characters. Biggest hit. This is biggest single hit, not total, but biggest single hit. I don't think that we got anybody on the top 25 tonight. No, you have to do at least 15 points of damage to get into the top 25 in a single hit. Most XP. No, is anybody? Nope. Okay, so nobody in the top 25 with most XP, but wealthiest. Look at this. Okay, so Bert, the gnome of Dave No F's, is now our wealthiest character with 166 copper coins. We're going to come up with things for you to spend those on later so you can get new equipment and stuff like that. But right now, the crowd is throwing you copper coins if they like you. So, Bert, Dave No F's, this includes what the fairy gave you if there were some things that she thought that, oh, you needed some coins. So, Bert, 166 coppers. Cedric, 163 coppers. That's Cedric Blackhand of Sable Phoenix. You are now number 2 right there. Dorley Borskets, 156 copper coins. You are number 3 in wealthiest. Right behind you is Fanbiz the Unfabulous, 154 coins. Not Into Face, 146 coins. Slamwise Blamg, 140 coins. Nondescript Dwarf of Tabletop Scholar has 112 copper coins in his coin purse. Final Fighter has 93. Swanzo also has 93. Weary Heavy Infantry of Tabletop Scholar has 81 copper coins. Bane Pawn has Bang's Pawn. I like that. I love that. I don't think I got that when I saw that originally. So Bang's Pawn, 81 copper coins. Nice job, Kyle. Love the name. Sir Percival the Warm, 67. Threadbare Blacksmith's Apprentice, 47. Bloodshot Man-at-Arms, 44. Mended Cartographer's Assistant, 42. Cheddar Bay Biscuits, 41. Overwhelmed Man-at-Arms, 40. And then Tattered Dwarf Brewer, 33. Untested Lector, 30. Very nicely, 27. Untrained Woodsman, 25. Eric the Cleric, 23. Mismatched Lector, 20. Okay, so there we go. So that's where we're stacking up with, there we go. We need to see the variance between current status and fully healed. To see the variance between those things. Most blood drops. Okay, we'd gotten some people through 10. Bert has gotten through 6, now at number 11. Cedric Blackhand has gotten through 6 and is an MVP. Stiffy has gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6, but that was not tonight. Let's see. Best defense. Did we get somebody up on the board? Yes, Cedric Blackhand of Sable Phoenix has done 9 perfect defenses, longest streak 2, now at number 14 of the top 25. Fell-handed. Who is getting fell-handed in here? Nobody new on the top 25. Let's go to the show wrap-up. We might have something new here. So we had 53 kills tonight. There were 53 kills. 16 characters fell. There was 1 new champion. There were 327 points of damage dealt. Bert, you are now, Bert of Dave No F's, you are now the richest character out there. You got 166 copper coins. Lucky you. Okay, the Fallen. Here's to the Fallen. Slamwise the Nimble, Swanzo, Hobo Cop, Marcus the Magical, a dust-covered town watchman, a forsaken alchemist assistant, bruised dwarf armor's apprentice, forsworn blacksmith's apprentice, cobbled porter, naive cut purse, a ruined dwarf miner, a shabby dwarf militia, an unseasoned merchant's guard, a floundering blacksmith's apprentice, a cracked lector, and an excommunicated lector. Here's to you. F in the chat. One final time for everybody to pay respects. Yes, everyone who fell. Warriors of the Night. So most kills tonight. Nondescript Dwarf, the Tabletop Scholar, got 5 kills. Bloodshot Man-at-Arms, Proud Star, 3. Kyle's Threadbare Blacksmith's Apprentice, 3. Cheddar Bay Biscuits, plus 2 kills. Overwhelmed Man-at-Arms, 2 kills. Most damage tonight. The Nondescript Dwarf of the Tabletop Scholar did 43 points of damage tonight. Bloodshot Man-at-Arms, Proud Star, 21 points of damage. Swanzo, 20 points of damage. A forsworn Blacksmith's Apprentice, 16. Fanbiz, 15. Now, I don't know if this makes any sense or not, but this is something that I was trying to get figured out, but this may not make sense right now. Like, who actually did things, who gave orders? This is more about the players right here. The players right here. Let's see. Well, maybe this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Maybe I'm not sure what I'm looking at. But we're looking at the people who gave orders. Sable Phoenix had 7 turns under orders. Vulgar Unicorn 6 turns. Brianna 4. So this is looking at players rather than characters. And this is telling you... well, okay, maybe I'm not exactly sure. But what I wanted to try to do was come up with some type of list right here that talked about how well the players were doing. But actually, it turns out I wrote this. This is what I wrote last night after the stream at like 1 o'clock in the morning, or midnight, or 1 o'clock. So maybe the way it's being displayed is not completely well. Let's see. Looks like Sable Phoenix killed 3 people under orders. I think that's what it's trying to say. Issued 17 total orders, 7 turns under orders. I'm not sure what that 11 is, though. Okay, I'll look at this. But the objective of this here is to have a how did people play tonight? How did people play tonight? So you can know if you're doing well, or if you're playing well, or if you are not playing well. Blow of the night is 13 points of damage. A nondescript dwarf, that's the tabletop scholar, put 13 points of damage with a warhammer onto a gremlin, and that was the blow of the night. Okay, well, I am very pleased that went as well as it did. I'm very pleased that went as well as it did. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I'm going to try to, man, I might have to go get a beer or something, and then... I have not been able to do complete rewatches lately, but there are things that I want to change, and then I do need to rewatch this, and I also need to get some MVP clips up to the YouTube channel. I've been trying to do that too. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you very much for being here with me. Thank you very much for playing with me. I really enjoyed it. Have a wonderful evening, and go forth, be creative. I will see you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.